and welcome back. My name is Jen and we are here today with a bulk unboxing. BULQ, bulk. If you have never heard of bulk, it is a website that you can go and purchase customer return pallets or cases, which is super fun. And it used to be that you had to be like fully invested into something like this and you could only order like full trailers of merchandise, and that is so not the case anymore. And I love to go to bulk to get my items. I order just one pallet at a time. I will resell the items and then take that money and reinvest it and order my next pallet. So this is my third pallet, and in between there I did order a case. I don't recommend, this is just personal opinion, I don't recommend the cases. I don't think the money is there. I've looked through all the manifests on those and I had only gotten the one because there was like this designer handbag in it. So I paid like $296 for the case, and it was that designer handbag and a ton of clothes. And unless you have like experience in like reselling clothes, it's just, I'm not good at it. So I sold the designer bag on eBay for $380, but then eBay took $50 in eBay fees and it cost $20 to ship it. So I made $308 on a case that I paid $296 for, and then I took all the clothes and donated it because I can't deal with clothes. So I tend to stay away from the cases. One of the things I love about bulk are their manifests. I can spend hours on that site looking through their manifests, because to me it's just like such a fun hunt of just looking for that pallet that has like, I really like looking for pallets that have like one item that when I sell that, it'll pay for the entire pallet. It kind of leaves things kind of stress-free. I'm not like busting my butt just to break even. And so far that's worked out really well for me. Fingers crossed, we'll see. But not all sites are like that. So I'm actually a part of, there's a couple different Facebook groups out there along the lines of like liquidation, resale and stuff. And time after time, I see like people just getting scammed, or they'll pay for an entire truckload, $10,000, and just receive absolute garbage. And I don't mean like, okay, items that are smashed or like damaged. Like I've seen pictures and it is just garbage. Oh, and it's crazy, and there's like not much they can do about it, and it's like, that's terrifying and really risky. And I 100% trust bulk. Now, I mean, you are buying, the category is usually uninspected returns. So yes, you're going to get items that are broken or maybe something that can't be sold or done anything with. But overall, I've been really super happy with them. I just wanted to talk real briefly, like kind of give a quick update of the other, the pallets that I've done before. I do keep a spreadsheet. So when I get a new pallet in, I will take the manifest that is provided to me by bulk and put it onto a spreadsheet. So then as I sell items, I'll have a column for, what I sold it for, if there were any fees associated with it. If I sell it on, eBay takes like 12%, which can get pretty pricey. Shipping, I'm learning, is insanely pricey as well. So before, I had really looked for pallets that had maybe like 30 to 40 items. So the pallets would come like a big box that would fit on a pallet, and all the items would be inside the box. And I did unboxing videos on those pallets as well. Feel free to go back and check them out. I believe I have them separated on my YouTube videos because I do a bunch of different stuff. Go to the playlists section, and there should be one just for the bulk unboxing videos. And I tended to seek out those because, obviously the items wouldn't be too large. I told my husband when I start doing this, I'll keep all the items contained in one room. So I didn't want anything, I didn't want bunk beds, I didn't want furniture, kind of stuck to the smaller things. It's kind of risky when you get down to, okay, here's a pallet with only like 8 items on it. You're kind of putting all your eggs in one basket. If you see a pallet that has like 400 items on it, I run away from those too. Because if you think about it, okay, if something has 400 items on it, you're really looking at like quantity over quality. Like they're like 400 notebooks, 400 pencils, like you're looking at like 400 of like small, probably not expensive items. So I was kind of shooting for the middle. So if you do want to go back and look at my unboxings, I had my my very first palette that I got. The reason I had picked that one out, there was a Garmin watch on that palette. So I paid $600 total. It was $264 for the palette, $347 for shipping. I know that sounds like a lot for shipping, but it has to be shipped freight. So in my mind, like I don't feel like I'm getting ripped off or anything because I'm paying more for shipping than the palette. Like I got a really good deal on the palette. I'm looking at it like, okay, I paid $600 total for this palette. And in my mind, like that's totally fine. There was an MSRP value of $5,500. I do like to look at that number, but you're never going to get that much out of it. Like even if everything was in pristine condition, and when you do see like your higher ticket items on the manifest, I still go and check because sometimes that number will be way off, whether the item has now gone on sale or just maybe there was a typo. That can sometimes happen. You know, I really see like, okay, if there's a $400 item, I might look it up and hey, it's selling for $250 brand new. So I kind of know in my head, okay, that's the starting point, not 400. Okay, so on that palette, like I said, there was a Garmin watch that was valued at $1,100. I sold it. So again, I only paid like $600 for the entire palette. I sold that watch for $780. There was $105 in eBay fees. Ouch. And it cost $16 to ship it. Now, so that Garmin watch, it did have a scratch on it. So that's probably why like somebody returned it, but it still certainly had value. And I was very honest in my listing when I listed it for sale, like, hey, this is brand new, but here, look, you can see the scratch on the face of it. And it still sold for $780. So when all was said and done, I sold a total of $2,448. But then once you take away all of the eBay fees or shipping, my total that I pocketed back was $1,800. And remember, I had put $600 into it, so I profited $1,200 on that palette. Most of the items were in resellable condition. Some of the items were in resellable condition, but it's something that like nobody wanted. So I'm just like somebody here, please just take this, like a quarter, it's yours. But overall, I was pretty happy with that palette. So then, as I said, I did get a case and talked about that with the designer handbag, and I don't like the cases. I like my palettes. Okay, so then the next palette that I got, there was 37 items on it. The palette was $312, shipping was $280. So I paid a total of $610. So that was kind of like my sweet spot budget. I would like to spend around like $600 on a palette. So did that, got that in, and I knew ahead of time on the manifest there was an engagement ring on this palette. That was exciting. Okay, so with this ring, let's see, I'm trying to find it on my, here it is. Okay. So this was on actually in a category of a scratch and dent palette. And I kind of liked those. I haven't seen a lot of them lately, but I liked those in the fact that there would be condition notes. Like someone, I think from BULQ, would actually go through it and make like condition notes about maybe what might be wrong with it. You know, if the box is damaged, if there's, if there's a coffee maker, they might put a little note that says, used, coffee grounds still in it, kind of thing. So for this, it was it said a bridal set, like a wedding ring and engagement ring. So in the notes section, it said it was missing the wedding band. So it was just the engagement ring. And it had the MSRP value of $2,500. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, well, if the band's missing, the engagement ring is still worth like $1,200. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this ring is worth $1,200. So I get it in, and I did as much research as I could on my own. But with jewelry, it can be tricky. You know, I'm not that knowledgeable. So I actually had it listed for like $600 or $700. You know, I listed it on eBay. I listed it on Facebook Marketplace. It got a ton of likes on Facebook because it was a beautiful ring, like so sparkly. But if people had questions about it, you know, I tried to answer, but it wasn't enough. You know, if you're trying to sell like high-end jewelry, I don't even know if that's considered high-end. Is that fancy enough for high-end? Anyway, so I actually had a woman contact me on Facebook, and she lived like one state over, and she was willing to buy it, or she offered me like $550. And at that point, I probably had the ring like 2 weeks now. And like I said, I'd only paid like $600 for the entire pallet. So she's offering me $550. And I'm like, okay, let's unload this ring, get the $550 back in my pocket. Because then that'll cover the pallet and everything else will just be extra. So then, I was actually on vacation when she messaged me. So like a couple days go by and she messaged me again. She's like, you know what? She's like, I can't go any higher than 400. And at that point, I was kind of irritated because I thought we had already agreed on a price and I had taken the eBay listing down. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. So it was after that sale fell through. I'm like, maybe it'll be worth it to have this ring appraised so that I actually have a physical piece of paper from like experts at a jewelry store saying, this is what this ring is worth and these are the details on it. So I did that. And so this ring that I thought was worth $1,200 that I had listed for like $700 and I had actually sold it for $550, but then she wanted to offer me $400. So I was like, no, thank you. So I had it appraised. There's the appraisal value there. $2,750. So now with this piece of paper in my hand, within like a week and a half, I sold the ring, $1,200 cash, no questions asked. Like, you know, and I felt confident in the value. They felt confident of what they were truly getting. So it was worth more than I initially expected it to be. So that worked out. So something you need to be aware of when selling on Facebook Marketplace, when selling something of higher value. And I did a video on this, so go back and look at that about like scammers. So at the time that I did that video, it was just about this one particular scammer that tried to like scam this ring out of me and try to get me to like mail them, like overnight them the ring, and me like thinking that they paid me, but really it was just like a fake email payment. It's so important that you watch that because that scammer turned out to be only one of 7 other scammers that contacted me about that ring within a 2-week period that tried to do the same exact thing. And it is the same script each time. They'll contact you on Facebook Marketplace. 9 out of 10 times it'll say that they are like contacting you through a phone number without Facebook. Like, so they're using Messenger, but they don't have Facebook. Like, they're making fake accounts. So that will be your first clue. And then they'll say that they want you to ship it to them and they will send you payment via PayPal. Here's the thing. So they'll ask for your email address associated with your PayPal, but you can send them the link. Like if you go into your PayPal account, like you can copy a link to send someone, and if they click on it, you know, it'll link to your account to like send you money. But they don't ask for that. They ask for your email address associated with your PayPal account. So you give them that, and then they whip up this fake email sending you, and it looks like an email from PayPal saying this person has paid you $900. And then they want you to ship the ring out to them, and they ask you to overnight it. So the one was even like, she's like, I'll put in an extra $100 for you to overnight it to me. The $100 doesn't exist. It's a fake email. It's a fake, there's no payment. There's no, so, they'll send the email, but if you check your PayPal account, there's nothing. There will never be anything. But I'm serious. 8 different people tried that same thing. I was so mad because there's nothing you can do about it. These people just sit around all day long just doing that. And I'm just like, oh. So please be careful. Okay, so when all was said and done with that pallet, and I still have some odds and ends from that, but for the most part, so again, spent $600 in the entire pallet. My total sales so far, I mean, the ring was the big ticket item, and I knew it would be. A lot of the other items, $20 here, $35 there. I did sell a lot of the things like locally. So it totaled $1,600. So I made $1,000 profit on that pallet. So this one that actually kind of taping out of order, as the other pallet like just arrived like an hour ago. I still like feel out of breath from bringing all the items into the house. So this pallet, there's only 19 items on it. So this is the lowest number of items I've gotten on a pallet so far. And it's the most expensive that I've bought to date. So this one, I didn't transfer the exact number into my spreadsheet here, but I know I paid a total of $820. So I went over like my $600 usual, and I got these freaking big items that I said I would never do. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I mean, maybe this will work out really well. So most of these items, I have no desire to put on eBay or try to ship them. I know that the shipping costs alone will kill me. I'm hoping to be able to sell these locally. So the reason I picked this pallet, there's like a really fancy $1,000 stroller on this. I'm certain that it would sell on eBay. Again, it's a huge item, so I don't really want to ship it, but I don't know that anybody local, we're not really fancy people around here. I mean, I don't know that I would ever even use this stroller. It's, but I mean, it's nice. And then there's, car seats and a lot of, baby items and stuff. So we'll see what happens. So what I did a couple weeks ago, I actually started a Facebook page called Doyle's Treasures. And I went and I invited pretty much everybody on my Facebook list to go ahead and like this page. No, of course not everybody did, but a lot did. I think there's maybe like 120 people on it. But I wanted to do that. Like I was thinking, I'm like, I think this could work, because if I knew somebody, like if my best friend did this like as a side hustle and I knew that she was getting pallets of like customer return items, I would be so excited. Like I want to see what she got. I want to see, is there anything in there I want or want to buy? And I was like, maybe people that I know would feel the same way. Maybe they'd be excited to see like, hey, what does she have that's new? Is there anything I'm looking for? Because they know, hey, it's going to be deeply discounted. And also something I run into with like Facebook Marketplace is people, it's hard to explain, well, like this is a customer return item, or they want to know like, well, what's wrong with it, or why are you getting rid of it? Because a lot of things are like brand new, but might have like a little ding here or there, and so they want to know the story. And I'm like, well, with this Facebook page, like people, like they'll know me, they know the story, or even if they don't know me, like they'll know like this page was created because this is where these items are coming from, and this is the deal, this is the story. And I mean, so far it's worked out really well. Like a lot of the smaller things that like are not worth shipping, like $20 items or whatnot, I would list them on there, and I'd have friends, like they're like, oh, I want this, I want that, and they would buy, and I'd be able to sell off some of the smaller things. So this one, when I picked out this pallet, as soon as I bought it, it takes about a week to actually receive the pallet. I, tried to start to build up the hype, and I posted on the Facebook page. I'm like, these are the items that I'm expecting next week. And I actually posted a picture from the BULQ website that had like a picture of my pallet that was coming. And it worked beautifully. There's people that were like, hey, keep me in mind for this, let me know about this one and this. And, So what I did on my spreadsheet is different people, if they asked about different items, I actually like marked their name on the spreadsheet by that item. So when I'm ready to list that item and after I inspect it, I told them, you know, when I do that listing, I'll actually like tag them so they'll, you know, hopefully have the chance to be able to be one of the first people to see it if they want to follow through and if they want it. And there's no pressure. If they don't, that's fine. But it just kind of, I'm hoping that that'll work. And I'll also, you know, post them on Facebook Marketplace too, but it was just kind of like an extra avenue to kind of keep people in the loop of, you know, hey, what I have that's available, or, you know, really trying to get rid of and get out the door. So, and especially with these items coming in, because they're big items and they're taking up my entire living room right now. And my husband's not going to be very happy about that. So I'm glad it's a Friday afternoon right now. So I'm glad that the pallet came today. I might like stay up through the night, like inspecting items and getting them listed in hopes of like, you know, let's try to get like rid of half of this within a week or so. I mean, I certainly have not lost any money yet doing this, and it's been fun. Like I said, I thoroughly enjoy going through the manifests and just looking for like those really cool items. So now the rest of the video is just going to be kind of showing you the pallet when it comes. The UPS freight guy came and they wheel it right to my doorstep. It's beautiful. And then, you know, this is obviously a residential area, so I have to, you know, take the pallet apart and like take each item in one at a time to piece it into the house. So it's a little bit of a process, but everything's inside now and we're ready to get started. So, you know, hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to reach out to BULQ. They have amazing customer service. They will absolutely get back to you, you know, pretty quickly, you know, if you have any questions. But I would say just go to their website and just start looking through the manifest, just for fun, even just to see like, hey, you know, what do they have? What are the prices on these things? You know, you don't have to be this like legitimate, like full-time reseller. There's no like tips or secrets to know how to do it. Like, you have an item in front of you, you inspect it and look it over, like, and okay, and then we sell it. So, you know, if you're looking to try it, I definitely recommend it. And I wish you the best of luck in doing so. If you are new to this channel, feel free to subscribe, but just know that bulk unboxing is not the only thing that I do. I do like other subscription unboxings. I'm a huge Disney fan and collector and do videos on that. I do oil paintings and do videos on that. So if you subscribe, you're kind of here for all of it. But I do hope to see you again, and thank you so much for joining me. And I'm going to now add in the videos of bringing everything in. Okay, I've gotten everything from the front sidewalk to inside our living room here. As you can see, like I said, this time around I went with a little bit bigger items, which in the very beginning I said I would never do because it takes up so much space, and my husband's going to kill me when he comes home, because I said when I first started doing this, I said all the items will be able to fit in my office. I'm not taking all of these upstairs. Well, I don't have time right now to get into everything. Be sure to go on Facebook and like my Doyle's Treasure page. You know, even if you're just interested to see like what was the end result after I fully inspected an item and took pictures, you know, what did I find? What was the actual condition? And it would just take far too long to do all that to include in this video. But as I begin to list things for sale, you know, that's where you can see that. But let's go ahead and I'll kind of just give you a quick tour and show you kind of what the actual boxes looked like. Yeah. Okay, so first here, I knew there was going to be some drapery rod, you know, curtain rod sets in the pallet. Not too exciting, but I mean, they do look nice and decent size. We'll jump to over here. So this box here got a little smushed in, and by reading the labels, so it looks like these all may have came from Bed Bath & Beyond. Seeing a lot of Bed Bath & Beyond tags there. So I don't know if these items were returned to the store or if they were sent to the store and the store received them in this condition. You know, I'm not sure, you know, we'll get into that and see what the condition of that is. Then down here, we have this Twins Bassinet Play Yard. You know, that box didn't look too bad. To get a closer look at that. The Ninja Foodie Deluxe. A little bit of box damage here. We'll see if that affected the contents inside. Then we have a car seat here. A little bit of damage down there on the box. Another car seat down on the bottom. Here we have a stroller and car seat set. Damage on the box down there. I don't know if that would have affected anything inside. Another car seat. Yes. Taking you for a wild ride. There you can see this side of the box was kind of pushed in. You know, we'll get into that and I'll have to see what's up there. Over here was this vacuum. The box didn't look, you know, too bad. So again, we'll have to check that out. Counter height stools. I didn't see any outer damage to the box, but again, you never know what's on the inside. And then here is this Melissa and Doug Chef's Kitchen Cloud. The shipping labels on it, it was being shipped like from Melissa and Doug's to, you know, a Bed Bath & Beyond. But obviously there is box damage here. So again, I'll have to get into there and see. Okay, this here, this Stoke, I don't know how to say it right, Stokey Explorer 6. So this was my big ticket item. Now, a lot of these other items are still, you know, they're not like little cheesy items. They're also valuable. But this here was like the $900, $1,000 stroller. So, you grab it off the top here. This is what you don't want to see, but there was a sticker or tag on this that says damage. Oh, that's never good. And since that was my big ticket item, I'll actually go ahead and take a second just to take a quick peek in there because I am kind of anxious to see what we got going on there. And then this huge B & Willow Home entryway bench with storage. You know, the box is pretty beat up. So it's a fully assembled item. So I'm certain that there's still a fully assembled item in there. The question is just, number one, is there any damage? I would think there might be, or maybe just due to the condition of the box, like, you know, we can't sell this. So maybe it's in perfect condition. Obviously, this is not an item that I have any intention of shipping. It would probably cost more than the item itself. But yeah, that looks pretty nice. So we'll have to take a look at that. But yeah, let's go ahead and for now, I'm just gonna take a deeper look at this one here. I don't know if I'd mentioned yet, I might have skipped over that part, but I just want to say thank you to BULQ for sending me this t-shirt and some other cool things. That was so nice of them. I mean, I'm by no means this huge reseller. I'm just this person with a side hustle. Like, this isn't even something I do. I wouldn't even call it like part-time. It's just something I do for fun. You know, I have a regular full-time job, and part-time job on top of that. And this is just, you know, it's fun for me to do. I get excited about the hunt, you know, looking through the manifest and trying to find, you know, cool stuff. So I thought that was awesome when they saw some of my videos and reached out and said, hey, we'd like to send you this stuff. And I'm like, oh, let's see what we got here with this. Alright, so the label on this, it does say Bed Bath & Beyond from Stogie LLC. They are located in Atlanta, Georgia. And this went to a Bed Bath & Beyond in New Jersey. And again, I don't like that sticker. Damage. Okay, so, I mean, hopefully, if it's still fully functional, obviously it's still got value. You know, cosmetic damage people can handle. It's still completely usable. Try not to make the box any worse. Oh, all right. So I'm not even sure what I'd be like looking at or looking for as far as, I mean, maybe the damage was just to the box. I mean, this looks brand new, like everything's still in the packaging. The thing is, once you start taking pieces out, you gotta remember how to get it back in. I mean, I'm not seeing anything right off the bat that would scream to me, you know, hey, this is broken. Everything's still in the plastic. The bottom part here, like a stroller from the Jetsons. This thing's crazy. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to me that says that this is like damage. I think it was just the box, which is awesome. I like that. So at first glance, I think that stroller looks pretty good. I mean, it's certainly not worthless. And I'm pretty sure it would still be listed as like brand new, but box is insanely not good. So I think one more thing that I'll go ahead and open on, sorry, I'm out of breath. One more thing that I'll go ahead and open on camera here is this big entryway bench with storage. Just because that shouldn't be too hard, just to kind of open up the top and take a peek inside and see what we got there. Since that is a fully assembled item, we just got to see if there's any damage to it. And then for the rest of the things, like I said, check out that Doyle's Treasures Facebook page, because over this weekend I am going to be thoroughly inspecting these items and listing them on there. I made that page, again, basically just for, you know, family and friends and locals, to, you know, not have to list on eBay and deal with shipping costs and eBay fees for, you know, these bigger items. And Facebook Marketplace is sometimes a pain, whereas people that come to my page, like, they already know the deal. Like, they know where these items are coming from. They know why it's scratched. They know how it got scratched. They get it. So yeah, a lot of these items I'm just going to be listing on that page. And I'll list on Marketplace as well. Obviously, that's a larger audience. But it is easier as I grow that following of people that I know around here. And if you happen to be on that page and see something that you want that's not like something that's going to cost like an outrageous amount to ship and you want to pay shipping charges, you know, by all means, you are free to reach out and purchase that item and I'll ship it to you. But let's dig into this one here. All right, I'm just going to have the camera there while I open this. I'll give you a better view once we get it opened. Again, trying not to make the box any worse than what it already is. again, the label, another Bed Bath & Beyond in New Jersey. I was actually sent from one Bed Bath & Beyond New Jersey to another one in New Jersey. Cushions on top there. Show me a better look at what I'm seeing. Okay, so here you can see the top of the box. You know how it's packaged on the corners and stuff. You know, obviously still a brand new item. It's all still in the packaging. I mean, the box was pretty beat up due to the size and how heavy this is. I'm not able to take this out myself right now to, you know, we're gonna have to fully take this out and look it over, see, you know, if there's any scratches and whatnot, and take photographs and try to sell it locally. Again, this is not one that I will be shipping. But at first glance, this is looking pretty good. Again, you know, for the end of the story, tune into the Doyle's Treasures Facebook page and see, you know, how it ends up being listed. You know, maybe there's a big chunk taken out of it once I get it out. So that is all for now. I definitely have my work cut out for me this weekend going through that stuff. But if you found this video just because you were thinking about getting a pallet from BULQ and are just, you know, curious to see what the process is like, hopefully this has been helpful to you. So thanks for joining me.